Way back in 2020 during the global quarantine, remember that? Yeah, that sucked. I needed a way I could easily track ideas with my drummer since everyone was trapped in their own bubbles. We decided to buy an electronic drum kit, and upon perusing the interwebs for some quick solutions, we came across a couple inexpensive electronic drum kits. Now, at the time, I didn't really know much about any of these, and they seemed too good of a price to be true. While they seemed like a great value, they were very limited in certain regards. Not only were they limited by the amount of drum pads that we had, we're a metal band, by the way, that's definitely a factor, but also the kick pad on each unit didn't really support having double kick. With one of them, the trigger was too small, and with the other one, the kick was too sensitive no matter what setting I adjusted or anything I tried. This ended up costing more money in the long run as I ended up purchasing additional pieces of hardware for the drum kit and ultimately cannibalizing one of the kits to make a larger kit with the drum pieces that we needed to replicate my drummer's actual set. So we got by for a while, but largely this didn't go to plan as much as I had hoped. That leads us to this video. Simmons saw those videos and asked me if I'd like to try one of their kits. They have a couple different electronic drum sets in the sub $500 category. This one is the Titan 50 BEX, which is an expanded version of their base model Titan 50. The Titan 50 BEX is loaded with 187 high-resolution full-length drum and cymbal sounds. Now there's an emphasis on the full-length portion of that statement, since many manufacturers use shortened drum samples which result in unnatural decay, so we will test that out here shortly. Again, this is the expanded version, which features 4 tom pads, 3 cymbal pads, a kick, and a snare pad. The snare is a 10-inch dual zone snare, something not super common in this price range, and the cymbals feature a choke control so you can actually grab and choke your cymbals just like you would IRL. But by far one of the most interesting features of the Titan series of electronic drum kits, to me at least, is its wireless connectivity and app control. You can actually control the drum set with an app, which in my experience is a huge improvement. Having to scroll through menus on most modules to try and find the settings that you are looking for can be super frustrating. So it's really cool that this kit found a way around that by making an app. I don't actually have the MSRP on this kit other than it being under $500. I will leave links in the description below if you'd like to check one out for yourself. Now, Simmons is sponsoring this video, so take the things I say in it with a grain of salt, but what I want to do is test this kit out and not only see what it can do on its own, but I want to test it for triggering Superior Drummer in my DAW, since my main purpose with an electronic kit is to use it for recording demo songs for my band. I also really want to try out the app and see if it's a better interface for controlling the kit than using the module, because I hate using the module on electronic drum sets if I'm being honest with you. My guess is it's way better, but we'll find out here in a minute. Okay, so I have this thing assembled and there's just a few things that I want to mention while they're fresh in my mind. It was actually very easy to assemble compared to most of these electronic drum kits that I've tried out. And the main reason for that is all of the clamps and like the main frame came pre-assembled. Actually, the majority of what setting this drum set up was cutting open boxes and removing all the pads. Now, I was a little bit confused on something. I thought these clamps here were backwards, but they were just folded this way, and you have to fold them that way to be able to actually angle the drums downwards. So that has nothing to do with the set, it just has to do with me. But maybe if you buy one of these and you're a little bit confused on that, that's what's going on. You just have to flip this little part back to get the arms in. And this is the kick pad. It feels pretty sturdy. It does look like it supports double kick just from the size of it, but I wanted to try it with the pedal that was included first, so that's why I have it hooked up with this one. I will hook up a double bass drum pedal in this video at some point. One last important note on this kit does not come with a drum throne. Some of these kits do come with drum thrones in the sub $500 price range, but to be honest with you, the ones that do, from my experience, the drum thrones are pretty bad. Like, they don't stay together, they fall apart pretty quickly. So that is something that you will need in addition to the actual kit, but it does come with drumsticks, you know, so they got you covered there. All right, let's hook the rest of this thing up and see how it sounds. Okay, another cool thing that I want to mention while I was hooking this up, this actually comes with a lot of tools for cable management, which is like a big pet peeve of mine. It came with a lot of these like clamps that clip directly on to these bars here, and then it came with these like elastic Velcro sort of things to, you know, get all the wires out of the way. The other thing that's kind of cool is all of these pads have right angle cables, and then they have these little hooks to like hold the cable, you know, so it's not just sticking down. I found that annoying in the past, and I think that was a really good idea to include that in there. But anyways, enough of the small talk. I think it's time to hook it up and see what it sounds like. Okay, we have the Simmons drum set hooked up. It's plugged in. This first part, we're just going to go through what you can do with this thing out of the box, minus the stool. It doesn't come with one. I got this from Amazon or something. It's a stool I use in every single video I make. There's nothing special about it. Anyways, I'm just gonna show you what you can do with the actual drum set, and then I will get a double bass pedal, hook that up, and we will record some MIDI, and I can show you some things that I'll be using the drum set for. you know? Now I have the app loaded up here on my phone. It is Bluetooth connected to the module here. They do the same things, but I find the app much, much easier to use. So for example here, if we wanted to go into setup, you can see all the different options that we have in setup, but you have to scroll through these menus and say it's just a lot. Versus I have the settings opened up here in the app, and if I hit a drum, it'll automatically go to that drum and show me all the settings. All the settings are right here. I don't have to scroll through menus to find the specific thing I'm looking for. So that's really nice. We're gonna go out of this right now, and I'm going to go into the mixer because this bass drum is way too loud. That's probably better there. Let's try it. I can adjust all of these drums independently right here. Now I am recording a mono signal out of the module. You can record stereo 1/4" outputs out of the module if you want like a stereo pan. I'm just doing mono at the moment, but if you wanted to, you could record stereo outputs. Let's go back here. Let's go through some of these different presets here. Kit 26 through 35 are user preset slots, so you have quite a few preset slots to save your own kits to, but then you also have these kits in here. An India kit. Okay. Oh, we have a techno kit. Let's go to a user preset slot here and let's just make our own kit, and I'll show you how easy this is. We're gonna select this preset and then I'm going to go into the kit edit. So now, you can see I have the kit here. Now by default, this comes with a bass drum pedal and a hi-hat pedal. But let's say you want to play double kick, but you don't want to buy, a double bass drum pedal because like that's just more money, right? What you can do here is you can open up your hi-hat settings, and we're going to go to the pedal here and we're going to select kick. So now I effectively have double kick without having to buy a whole separate thing. Now the two crashes can be choked, and then you have a ride over here, which is just a normal cymbal. It's not chokeable. That sounds kinky. Let's say I wanted to do something different here. Let's say I want this to be a China. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna go to category. There we go. And now we have a China. Now let's go into our kick. We can adjust the settings. You see I have the sensitivity all the way up, meaning I barely have to press this thing to get a high velocity hit out of it. And you can see the actual MIDI note velocity down here, which is a nice touch because you can actually see what you're adjusting. See, if I back this off, say I put the sensitivity down to like 12, those soft hits are actually translating to very soft hits. And I have to hit the kick drum pretty hard to get a hard kick out of it. I think it sounds good there. We have reverb sends right here, so if you wanted to adjust the amount of reverb you get from each drum, you can do that. We have our pans here. Again, we're going mono, so this part doesn't matter. But if you're running stereo signals, you can adjust where you want each drum to sit in your stereo mix. And then we have effects over here as well. Let's turn the compressor on, and let's edit these parameters here. We're going to attack, we'll attack a little bit slower than that. And we'll adjust the release so it's about there. And we want the ratio to be 30, is that 30 to 1? We'll just adjust the ratio really high. I'm just trying to hit all the drums. So you get the idea. We have like a more compressed overall drum sound. Let's turn the reverb on as well. Okay, so hopefully I've given you kind of a comprehensive view of what you can do with this thing out of the box. Let's hook this up via USB. I'm gonna go grab a double bass drum pedal, hook that thing up here, and then I'm gonna set it up how I would use it for like recording purposes. Okay, I have this hooked up now to my computer over here. It's triggering Superior Drummer over there. I have a proper double bass pedal hooked up. That's probably not gonna help me a whole lot if I'm being honest with you, because I'm a guitar player, not a drummer. So this is the Superior Drummer kit. I use this kit all the time in songs. If you've listened to me on Spotify, you've heard this kit. If you haven't listened to me on Spotify, what are you doing? Go listen to me on Spotify. I have songs on Spotify, down in the description. But basically, this is the way that I would have the kit set up. I would be recording the MIDI into Superior Drummer so that way I can alter it later if I need to. But this is just to get ideas down quickly, you know? If I have a song idea and I want to call up my drummer and be like, hey Duncan, can you come over here and just dee on the drums real quick? He could just come over here and, you know, do the blasty beats that I can't do. And obviously, if you need to, you can adjust the settings with your phone, make it a little bit easier to navigate the menus. One of the great things about recording the MIDI out of your drum set is you can take a performance that sounds like this and make it into this. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it informative. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button if you like what I do here. Consider subscribing or joining us over on Patreon if you want to be super OP about it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.